be the largest computer in the world.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. It's been really interesting, and good luck with your adventures.
Coming up later, we'll bring you something really hot. It's some of the coolest open source websites around. So hot and cold. Ideally, it's your sort of perfect Sunday family lunch or something. Now, Raymond Costa is a young man who's almost completely deaf, but he can use, through open source, the internet to communicate as much as he wants.
14-year-old Raymond Costa lives in the small town of Mokopane in the Limpopo province. He was born a healthy, normal child. But as Raymond got older, he wasn't developing quite like other children. By the time he turned 10, his parents realized that something was seriously wrong.
Raymond told me about hearing problem. Raymond told me the year 2000. Raymond diagnosed several times. Then learner to home observe. Then from there,
Although Raymond's mom was advised by the doctors to send him to a school for the hearing impaired, Raymond refused. But his schoolwork was suffering, and his teachers were finding it hard to communicate with him.
Was it not difficult to teach him because of his hearing disability?
Since I'm not trained to deal with people of that disability, I had to develop some methods to accommodate him. I couldn't just leave him alone with those instructions.
Shoki Majui is a tutor at the HPI Community Center, which runs open source computer training for the public. She encouraged Raymond to enroll in one of her courses.
During June holidays, we usually train the community, including learners, so that we can accommodate them. That's how I met Raymond. Raymond was one of my best learners because even he has this disability, he could do anything.
The HPI community is run entirely using open source software, which is integral to the computer learning that happens here. One of the motivating factors in using open source is that it allows the community to become self-sufficient.
Shoki, did you have a background in open source and computing before you got your qualification from the center?
Yes, I did, and it is very helpful because it's different from other software because it is affordable. You don't have to buy it. It won't cost a lot because if I have it, everyone has it.
In his course, Raymond picked up skills early and has learned a variety of open source applications which he's using at school and in his everyday life.
He's able to do internet and search for information. And sometimes he used to come to me, Mommy, I find the information about the doctor who can help me. Then we try to consult the doctor. And sometimes if I'm going to host meetings for ECD, Raymond used to make programs for me.
Initially a shy and reserved child, Raymond has newfound confidence and is determined to lead a normal life. With access to the internet and email at the HPI Community Center just 5 minutes from his home, the world is at his fingertips.
Right now, he's a changed person because of the computer, and I know he's going to be completely changed and he's going to enjoy the way he is.
It's time to meet our Geek of the Week, and this week, none other than Kagendra Naidu. How's it?
Well, thanks, John.
You got quite a fascinating story. I'm not one of those interviewers who kind of says the whole thing and then you repeat it, and then I go, ooh, tell us your story.
Well, I started a company a very small company with a bunch of friends about 5 years ago, and in the process entered a very niche market of doing database consulting, Unix-based, on very large systems, terabyte systems. And I collaborated on a piece of software that does database migrations.
Okay, let's just explain to people out there, what is database that thing?
Just about everything you do nowadays relies on some sort of database. Everything from your banking to your medical aid to everything. It's just basically a collection of information.
Your software was sort of seen by many people all over the world on that website.
Some people in America actually found it. Anyway, it was one of the directors that got a hold of me, and he said, do you have a passport? And I said, yes, I do. And he said, would you like to come over? And I said, I'll tell you what, if you paid my air travel and my expenses, I'd do it for free. And he was not, get out of here. He didn't think I was for real until I actually landed in Florida. I essentially migrated their system that was taking 17 hours. I did it in about 3.5.
Sure. And you didn't charge them at any point?
Well, that's the beauty of it, is they took me to Disney World, and I went to NASA, and they really showed me a righteous time, and they were really beautiful bunch of people. And, one of the greatest things about open source is actually it's a meritocracy. It's about people that want the recognition of their peers.
Are there financial rewards to what you've done?
Definitely. The costing model is service-based. And essentially, in the emerging markets that we have today, the service-based model is proving itself to be far more robust and more marketable, and definitely more friendlier model from a business perspective.
It's Kagendra Naidu. Coming up next, another local hero. And of course, our competition. We can win gadgets and gear and all sorts of things that click and whir and buzz in the night. Kagendra, thanks very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Cheers. Ever had the feeling that you want to boot your computer right in the kernels? Well, possibly you should try booting it with a CD. And to explain all that, here's Mark, while I just talk to myself a little.
Today we're doing it live. A live CD is a way of trying out a whole new operating system on your computer without affecting the software that's already installed. Now, a live CD will run slower than software that's actually installed on your hard drive because the CD is actually slower than a hard drive. But it's still a fantastic way to show people what Linux is all about, or to put Linux onto a new computer and see whether or not it's going to run.
There are several different live CDs available, and the best place to find them is on the Frozen Tech website. Download your version, burn it to CD, and there you go. The great thing about a live CD is that you literally just stick it in the CD-ROM drive and it boots up as if the operating system has already been installed.
A live CD lets you see all of the applications that you'll get on Linux, even if they're running slowly, without affecting any of the software on your PC. Look forward to seeing you again next week.
For more information on booting Linux from CD or anything in this program, please visit our website, www.goopensource.org. You can also order a free CD with free programs for Windows. We'll even post it to you for free as well. Viva the revolution. Open source will set you free. If you don't know how it works, call a geek. Call a super geek. In fact, call the Uber Duper Super Geeks, the Freedom League of Geeks, which is far more effective when dealing with computers than the League of Leaks.
Sir! Reporting for duty, sir!
Eddie, soldier.
What is the Geek Freedom League about, sir?
Well, Rafuwe, the Geek Freedom League is about forming an army of geeks all across the country that help us in liberating computers from proprietary software.
How do we liberate people's computers?
See, most computers run proprietary software. It's not that people choose to install proprietary software. It's really that they aren't given a choice. It's all they're given when they buy their computer. So what we need is one computer, one Go Open CD, and one geek. The geek is going to take the software that's on this disk over here and install it on people's computers.
Do I have to have a lot of technical knowledge about open source software in order to become a Freedom League geek?
No, you don't. Installing software is really, really easy. First step is to log on to our website, goopensource.org/freedom, and register yourself as a geek.
What incentives are there to become a geek?
Once you've reached a count of 10, so you've installed 10 pieces of software on people's computers, you then get your geek kit. Your geek kit consists of this t-shirt, a geek bag, another 20 CDs so that you can install open source software on 20 more computers. You get this Freedom League cap, and you also get this Geek Freedom League lanyard. The holder of this card is bound by their conscience to promote and install open source software. Rafael, we're making you an honorary geek.
I am honored to serve the League.
Let's go install some software.
Now you know you're not alone. At any time you need a hand, just call on the Freedom League and they will be on hand to help you with whatever you might need. Because it's a weird, wild, wonderful, worldwide web, and this week we're going to look at 3 open source projects that you can access by simply using the internet.
Now that the festive season has hit, you might want to get into the spirit of things by downloading the free and open source Christmas version of Tetris. Get it from www.steinsoft.net and look for it in the projects folder under Games. It's the same Tetris you know and love, but themed and packaged with a corny song that's guaranteed to drive you insane. Now, if you want to regain your composure and get a sense of peace and harmony, be sure